Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, alone and palely loitering? Welcome to the world of Gregory. While some may exercise their body, others exercise power, Gregory exercises his mind. He reads and studies carpentry, a wonderfully practical art form. It is the pursuit by which we transform the world around us, using the world around us, and exploiting every quality worthy of such transformation. Fashioning the entrails of nature into clean right angles, working hard so that we might have a place to sit down and work not so hard. For if we have anything to pursue in life, it is learning the means by which we can take the world by our own hands, learning to create. But such a life can be lonely. Gregory has no friends. He did have a dog growing up. Her name was Banjo. They were inseparable, at least until the incident. The incident which led Gregory down the path he has desperately fought to avoid since. The catalyst by which all Gregory's achievements live in shadow. For the little of the town that remains unspoken for, he decided to do something he hadn't considered. In the wake of his recent behavior, the next build will be in respect to his past, rejecting the upward mobility of modern life. I will rebuild my father's house. It was a simple home, none unlike any you've seen before. You might miss it between the fancy and intricately detailed abodes surrounding it. Gregory himself has missed it. It begins with a gate, from which Gregory left home for the final time. I will rebuild my father's house. I will raise the walls that once were, carve out the windows who open up the world. Struggle to line things up properly, but Gregory knows he's learned all he could in order to tackle this endeavor. For he knows there is no perfect amount of preparation, nor is it something anybody can be aware of. There's something so novel to him about a tool belt. It can only accommodate a limited number of tools, but it can carry the construction of something as large as a house. We can only equip ourselves with so much before access gets impractical, and we build it out based on its purpose, preparing it to endure the road ahead. To construct a house without equipping a tool belt is just as foolish as to construct your life without equipping your mind. We often have to endure this repeatedly throughout our lives, for preparation is practiced. I will rebuild my father's house. I will construct the roof, who desperately kept us dry all those years, routing the water off and away. I will recreate all the details by which we lived and prospered. Reminiscence is not dangerous. It isn't something to fear, nor is it something to forget. The library of your mind is a powerful tool. The books that populate it are waiting to be reopened. Next door to Gregory's childhood home, there was a restaurant. One Gregory frequented enough that Banjo actually became a welcome customer. It was a hole-in-the-wall shop, but it was beloved by its community, and seemingly never was replaced after it was gone. In fact, the restaurant was so wonderful, it seemingly popped into existence. What a cool in-universe explanation for someone realizing they weren't recording. But I do not mean to sway you into yesterday, nor should you lock your gaze onto tomorrow. It is the dance you must practice. To learn one sequence is to equip a tool. To learn the next is another. And soon, those who observe you will be envious, for your elegance and grace over the rhythm will be unmatched. We all come from different circumstances, but that doesn't mean that will shape our identity. If my childhood home has a leaky roof, then my childhood home has a leaky roof. My skin is unbroken, and the walls are irrelevant. My house will not dictate my potential, and I'm sorry if it ever has. Now, as always, I very much appreciate you joining Gregory on this journey. These episodes are always an interesting exploration into a relatively new thing I'm stumbling through. It's something I find very relieving, in that it feels like it drops weights off my mind. I very much appreciate and love all the support you guys give, just as much as Gregory appreciates the leaky roofs. For now, Gregory has technically completed his mission, but it hasn't brought back what he's really lost. Such a life truly can be lonely. I rested against the table leg, waiting for the storm to pass. The house, however, wouldn't give me pause, looming around me. The walls remained blackened from fire, mortar crumbled at the slightest touch. The balcony doors hadn't properly opened for months, their glass long gone. Rain trickled through the unfinished floor above me. The storm was only passing, but unforgiving nonetheless. I stared out the balcony. We used to let our family dog out there, upset if she missed a day. She'd sit for hours, carefully surveying the land below. The tree she'd watched never knew anything had changed, still as elegant and graceful and the only place they'd ever known. It was a lucky view, one I was excited to recapture. But it didn't feel the same. It had admittedly soured. I laid my head back and tried to go to sleep. The room's sorry state burns my childhood eyes. The restoration effort felt fruitless. It would never repair my mind. But I could not sleep. When my gaze returned to the balcony, there she was, patiently waiting at the door, as she always had. I will rebuild my father's house.